The Stafford defender. Okay,
No, this is not moved
that's funny.
podcast. We're going to introduce Moss and Sage to the stage. They're going to talk and discuss their Seattle Seahawks offseason update.
What's
Moss,
good?
Sage, you guys got the floor.
All right. So Sage, let's start off with how we kicked off, the offseason. Trading Geno Smith and DK Metcalf and releasing Tyler Lockett, that a series of events. How did you feel about that when you first got that news?
Yo, my Instagram I got pinged every single one of those trades. Every time I woke up, saw my phone, heartbroken. Seeing Tyler Lockett, man, be just a great receiver for us. So serviceable, so reliant, just gone. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Didn't get a chance to
Right.
retire like a Seahawk, like he should have. And
Yeah.
DK was even a harder pill to swallow because DK had the potential. Like he always had that potential to be that top 10, top 5 receiver, just pull off his build, and he never hit it at Seattle.
So, yeah. So similar to me, like I was asleep I was asleep when I first got the news. Well, I was asleep when the news first happened, and I woke up and I seen somebody in the live talk about it. I was like, wait a minute, we traded Geno Smith. It's this podcast, another podcast I listened to, Locked On. They was hinting at it for like a couple of days beforehand. I didn't think it was going to happen though. So then I woke up and I got news. I was like, wow, it really happened. And then the departure of DK, I was like, okay, so what's the direction here? Because my whole idea was, I thought that if John Schneider could have nailed this offseason, that was my thought going into it, that if he nailed this offseason, we could have like shot up the rankings. That's what I thought. And I thought, get some offensive line upgrades. We had so many picks, we could have, traded, maneuvered, did whatever, and we could have shot up the ranks. And then that kind of like broke my heart. It broke my heart.
Yeah.
And then, having Mr. Reliable Tyler Lockett, he was longtime Seahawks, consistent, give you 1,010 touchdowns consistently, 100 catches, whatever you need. He was always there. Every third down he was there. So yeah, that hurt too. That hurt a lot.
Yeah.
DK, I thought he was gonna be Megatron. He was not that, but he still was he was still like a great number one receiver for us. And I don't know, it just hurt to see that leave.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, man. I thought the same, but I think us missing the playoffs ended it. I think DK wanted out. I think DK was like,
I think he wanted out.
we went to playoffs for now the second year of my career in a row. I don't trust you guys to make the playoffs in this situation. I want out. And I think DK wanted out. I think it was just time to let everyone go because
Yeah,
even with that
You gotta
core, I don't think they truly believe in Geno Smith into leading us to the playoffs. Like
yeah,
even a playoff one, I don't think they believed in that much.
yeah,
And the contract he got on the Raiders, I don't want to pay that contract. To be
yeah.
honest, I like Geno a lot, but I don't want to pay that contract.
Yeah, I do think trading Gino was a good move because we freed up like 30+ million in cap space. So it was a good move, but it's just hard to see. I thought they could have built it together. Gino is on the older side of things too, so I don't really mind, especially like if we lost a lot of veterans like Draymond Jones didn't live up to the position he was supposed to be. George Fant he didn't do what he was supposed to do.
Thompson got let go. Thompson too.
Yeah, Rayshon Jenkins. Like we let go of a lot of players. It just it's time. It was time for a reset though. Like you can feel the energy there. It was time for a reset. We got a new coach in. We he was on the he was on the cups or something. So it was time for like a nice little reset. Usher in something. Which leads us
build that Ravens defense from the ground up.
Which leads us to free agency, right? And all the trades we made: Cooper Kupp, Sam Darnold. All those guys. DeMarcus Lawrence, another one.
Josh Jones,
Josh
too,
Jones.
for depth.
I do think so. So here's the thing, right? When it comes to Sam Darnold, I know people, talk about Jets and Panthers, Sam Darnold. I do think with Clint, I think Clint Kubiak unlocks this offense. That's my thing. I think Clint Kubiak unlocks this offense, right? So when you have a guy like Jackson Smith and Jigba, Cooper Kupp, both of them can win one-on-one matchups. Thing is, can get the run game going to get these guys easy looks on the outside. That's what I want to see. And
that's why I love the Elijah pickup for Miami, right? Because when you watch that Miami offense, man, he was a very good deep threat for them. Very good getting big plays on that offense. I believe he was averaging like 14 per reception. It was really good.
even MVS, like MVS worked with Kubiak in New Orleans. So if he knows how to use the certain pieces the way he could, I think he unlocks his offense and we look a lot better than we should. And Clint Kubiak is the one who worked with Sam Darnold before he went to Minnesota. So, it's just so I feel like we're in a better position than a lot of people think. Of course, we had a whole offensive line issue. One of those issues was our offense coordinator dropping back 30 times a game out of shot. So, like, as a defensive end, when I come off the ball and the quarterback is literally in my lap, it's easy to get to the quarterback. Whereas
way easier.
There's no creativity because I'm snapping.
There's no balance.
And then, especially, all of our routes is 40-plus yards downfield. How am I supposed to get any type of rhythm with that? I got to sit here and pass the ball where I'm not getting no easy completions, nothing to get me in rhythm. So
we struggle. That's why we struggle against the Bears. That's why we struggle against the Bills. That's why we struggle against the Lions until the second half. That's why there's so many games where we struggle because we pass the ball too much. It's too predictable.
And so I do think that addition unlocks the offense. I think our defense is going to be phenomenal because
I think we'll be top 10.
Because we finished like 11th and 12th in multiple rankings. That would us having all the injuries we had, right? So we had the stretch where we had all the injuries. Then, I think Josh Jobe could be good for us. Ernest Jones trade was huge for us because our second level was, not that good with I forget the dude we got from Miami. I'm blanking right now. But yeah, so moving him, getting Ernest Jones, then re-signing him, all that, good moves. Then, Jerron Reed, and then Nick Imawari, who was my favorite draft pick, Nick Imawari.
Yes. As someone South Carolina, yes.
Then DeMarcus Lawrence, the emergence of Leonard Williams, all of that. I really wish Uchenna Wosu could, get into his groove. But yeah, I think our defense is going to be it's been a while since we had a good defense. It's been a while since we had a good defense.
And people don't talk about that. It's been a while, man.
Spoon. So us having the potential of having this great play action offense and this stout defense, man. I think things are looking up really good. And then Mike McDonald has been an excellent coach for us especially in that first year.
So how do you feel about picking up Jalen Murrow in the fifth or fourth round this year? I think.
Yeah.
Or third.
So my whole theory is, if I'm picking in the first round, I go with a safe pick. If I'm picking in later rounds, I can go with a project. If Clint Kubiak can develop Jalen Milroe into, a great quarterback, he's a steal. He's a steal of the draft because, he has the arm strength. He can put the ball downfield. He can run.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has the potential to be a great quarterback. And so, and then we also had later picks, receivers that have that deep third ability, 4.3, 4.4 speed that it can all tie together.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not the biggest Jalen Milroe believer, right? I thought Shador.
Put him at safety.
Yeah, I thought Shador was gonna fall to us, and if he did, we would take him. But apparently not. Personality issues matter. How genes feel about you matter.
Yeah.
But if we can maximize his potential, that's all we need.
Yeah, I do think his athletic upside is a huge plus. So I'm not mad we took him in the fourth round. Like if we took him first, second, then I was like, okay, we reaching. But fourth round, I'm okay with that. And Clint Kubiak. I feel like Clint Kubiak can unlock all of this and tie it together. I do. I really like. I like Clint. Yeah, and I like Kenneth Walker. I think Kenneth Walker and Kenny McIntosh. All the running backs we have, they all have potential.
They all set the world. Yeah.
Yeah. Zach Charbonnet.
But we find a way to find good running backs. I don't know how we do it, but no matter what we draft, they usually become a decent back. Like not elite so far, but just a good to okay back that serves the job.
And of course, for some reason we haven't had healthy backs for a while.
Yes.
We haven't had any healthy backs. So that's been a stroke. Like since Marshawn, like Thomas Rawls was hurt, Rashad Penny, Chris Carson. Kenneth Walker. No matter who we brought in was, pretty hurt.
Even Rawls got hurt, yeah.
So yeah, it was. But I do like this massive. We had an overhaul, when it comes to offense, but we also lost a lot when it came to offense too. So I just need to see how that transition works again. I do think we upgraded heavily at coordinator. I do think like Gray Zabel and all these picks that we and all the upgrades we made on the offensive line should help too. Because of course we know Sam Darnold needs time when he played. That's one of his biggest fall off was they blew the pocket up. They kept blowing the pocket up. He couldn't operate. So as long as we can hold that pocket up and let our outside guys be playmakers, yeah, I feel like we have potential.
Yeah, and this ask you a question real quick, right? So we're in AFC West and our division is tough, right? But I think we both think that the Rams are still gonna be the finish first in the division. But the 49ers and us, I really do think that this year we can
I
once
think we're better.
again.
I
I
think we're
think I
better.
think we're better than them now.
I
I
think
think
we're
so
better
too.
because again, like they lost everybody pretty much.
Yep,
They lost a lot of people. So and Kyle Shanahan had this weird ability to bring out the best in everybody. And then they got Robert Saleh back. So you know how he is with as a
that's a bit
defensive
annoying.
mind.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm a little weary, but I'm not. I do think I honestly believe we're better.
yeah. Because my thing is right is they're obviously a team on decline, right? I do not think CMC when it comes back is going to be the exact same running back they was before. I
Yeah.
do not think this receiving core is going to be that great this year. I do think IU is going to be very questionable this entire season.
Yeah.
I do not trust Ron Jennings to carry the load of IU struggles. And then
Yeah.
George Kittle, he's plus 30 now. Every year from this point on, it will be a will he do it again year. No, he's no longer in his prime years. It is 30-plus-year-old George Kittle, right? So I think
Yeah.
at some point, Seattle has to be able to overtake Bernard definitively for now.
Yeah.
Out of
Yeah.
this year or next
I
year.
agree. So and again, back to the defense. I think we have the best defense in the NFC West. I think we have the best
Hmm.
defense in the NFC West. I think we have one of the best defenses in the NFC. Up there with the Vikings, the Eagles. Guys like that. I do like so. Again, as long as we have a good defense who can keep putting the ball in our hands, create turnovers, get out the quarterback, stop the run. I do think that's going to help our offense. And I feel like, again, Clint Kubiak is all on Clint Kubiak. So when it comes to the West, I think we can finish second. I think we can finish second. I think we can possibly finish first. I think it's possible. I think it's possible. Again, we had 10 wins last year and missed the playoffs because, some in division losses. So, you know, it's possible that we can finish first. So one of my biggest things, though, is how tough the NFC is going to be because the North, the East, and the West, like all of those teams are like there's like 7 to 8 good teams from those three divisions, right? And then there's no telling with the emergence of. I also think that the Falcons are going to emerge as a good team. So we like the NFC is like very tough right now. So my biggest question is, do you think that Sam Darnold can elevate? Oh, we got technical difficulties. See, he should be a couple seconds. Mm.
There we go. My bad. Keep me out again. I'm back.
So before you had had your technical difficulties, I was asking, do you think that Sam Darnold can elevate to the level high enough to put us in playoff position? Do you think he can elevate enough?
I think he plays a very certain role. I think we make the playoffs, but winning a game, I don't think so.
Yeah, winning games is tough. It's a tough one. It depends on who we get. It depends on
Hmm.
who. Because I feel like if we make the playoffs, I think we can beat the Buccaneers. If I think if it came to be the Falcons, I think we can beat them. I also think like we can. I also think we can beat the Vikings or the Packers. I think we can beat those two teams with this team we have now. So technical difficulties again. Yeah. JB, make sure you edit this out. Make everybody's tired. Oh Lord. We got a fullback. Hair looking crazy. Actually,
Where did Sage go?
he having technical difficulties, so you gonna have to edit some of this. We was flowing too. We was flowing.
Yeah, he'll be back. His phone probably died.
Yeah.
Yes. What do you see? What do you see you guys' record this year coming out to be?
So I think 10-11 wins is feasible. I think 10-11 wins is feasible.
You
Again,
got real high upside on Sam Darnold.
it's not Sam Darnold's Clint Kubiak. It's high upside on. I have high upside on Clint Kubiak.
So you don't have a lot of faith in him this year, huh?
It's not about necessarily what Sam Darnold can do. It's about what Kubiak can get Sam Darnold to do. What he can do with the offense entirely.
What do you think, Sage? What do you think you guys' overall
Yeah, it's
record
not
for
about
this
faith.
year?
It's just understanding that, like, for me, when you actually watch Sam Darnold as a quarterback in his Jets tenure, his Vikings tenure, and his Carolina tenure, the flaws are still there. He will always, and I will always find a way to try to push the ball deep over taking the easy yardage, right? He did it this year in the Lions game, for example. The big reason why they lost that first Lions game because down the field he hit for a downfield pass to believe JJ, even though in the flat the running back was wide open in the flat the entire route because
Yeah.
Sam Darnold loves throwing ball deep. I don't know why he does it. And then when you pressure that man, even one time, the moment you hit him one time, he just falls apart as a quarterback. I don't know how he does it because again, in the second in the big lines game, everything's on the table. He had multiple easy looks for touchdown passes, and he missed all of them. And I know he can make those throws because I've seen him make those throws.
And see, I'm glad you said that. I got the news that we got Sam Darnold. That's the first game that popped into my head. Remember, the whole thing was the Lions' defense was injured, so this should be a shootout. They come to the game, and Alex Singleton loses his mind that game. I don't know if you remember. Alex Singleton balled out of his mind, and Sam Darnold could for rock in the ocean. He can do anything. If he threw the ball, it wouldn't hit. It was bad. And so, like, that's the first thing that popped into my head that game. I'm like, that game, and then Jesus Christ, I should have backpacked. Anyway, this
I'm still in the thing. Oh, hold on.
Let's go ahead and be edited. It.
There. My bad. It still had me on the Discord. So like overall, I think the main thing to take away from this off season is just a new age or a new face. Like this Geno Smith era is over. This whole we're just trying to contend at this point era is over. I think now it's okay. We got a new head coach. We got a new mindset. We got new receiver ones. We have a new defensive face.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to build this unit now to in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Instead of just contending post Russ.
So going a little bit deeper into we kind of touched on it, but I think we can get into it a little deeper. The draft, I think we did very good in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, Gray Zabel, Nick and Minwari, I said it before, my favorite draft pick. He fell to us. We spoke on Elijah Royal a bit, but I want to speak on I think Torrey Hogan, Ricky White. I think those were two really good picks for late round draft picks. They have potential.
Yeah.
They have potential in that offense. I also think we got us a fullback. you know, Clint Kubiak loves those fullbacks. We got us a fullback, and we got us another running back. For I guess extra bodies. You never know. Like we said, we had
depth pieces. Yeah.
So and we got
you never know.
We got two more offensive tackles. So Oh, and we also got Riley Mills. I forgot about that pick. Yeah, we got it. So defense. So we did a heavy haul. That's one of the things I liked about the DK Metcalf, Geno Smith is we had a haul of picks, and I think we definitely nailed it with the draft.
Flipping DK for a second rounder was impressive. I thought we're gonna get a third or fourth. Second round is very impressive.
I think we did very well in that second. I did think we did very well in that second round. So, what is your overall look on the draft? Like, do you think we filled enough holes with all the picks that we had?
Yeah, I think I love the Greg Zable pick, right? Our guards has been a massive problem right now on the O line. I like the fact that we got Elijah from Miami. I said earlier because yes, Noah Fant is a good to okay tight end, but I think Elijah, especially in our offense, can be another reliable piece for Sam to lean on for now, and for Jalen Merrill to lean on later.
And he's extremely athletic too for his size, and so for him to be able to move like that, like he had receiver type routes as a tight end, and I think that unlocks it a lot too. So I think that it all ties together. With offensive tackle, we have a guard. Revamp our O line, give Sam Darnold time. We have the guy in Elijah Arroyo who can maneuver. We have I think we did very well with the draft. Of course, we shored up at tackle, just in case, Charles Cross and Abe Lucas, we got to figure out what we're going to do with those two. See if they see they're the future. I do like them both, though. I like Charles Cross. I think Abe is, he's been kind of, hurt a lot in his career. I do think he can be. So, we have to move on from him. Then we can usher in. We got two more offensive tackles to usher in quickly.
Yeah, I like this, right? One move that no one gets talked about that we got on Griffin back, right? That's pick up.
We kind of shored up at cornerback because inconsistencies of Tariq Woolen, and so we need somebody opposite of Witherspoon. I think Josh Jobe and oh my goodness, Kobe Bryant. I don't know how we haven't brought up Kobe Bryant yet. Kobe Bryant was a great move position. That's what. When you have a genius defensive coach, that's what happens. But yeah, Kobe Bryant, I don't know how I brought up Kobe Bryant yet. He was a genius move. He played very well.
Yeah, Kobe was really good, man. Especially tackling wise, he was very good.
Yeah, and then first play I think of against the Cardinals, Spoon off the blitz. The into Kobe Bryant. That's what I think about when I think of the potential of our defense. Very leading the boom, reminiscent.
Yeah, hard hitting, always in your face, constantly overbilling around. Yeah.
The only thing is I need Tariq Woolen to get back to how he was that rookie year, before he went to that. I do think he once he emerges back to his Pro Bowl level self, the actual defensive rookie of the year he deserved. Instead of that bum in New Jersey. No, I'm joking. But But yeah, I do think that takes our defense to the next level because Spoon is a dog. Spoon was so
I'm happy for Witherspoon, all those guys.
Yeah, I think Spoon was a great pick because Spoon's an absolute dog. Like Spoon makes me okay with passing up on Jalen Carter. That's how good Spoon is.
I know, but still, I still think Jalen Carter will be a great fit in this team. I'm so mad about that.
Yeah, but he makes me okay with it. That's how much of a dog he.
But talking about the D line, with Jalen Reed, Murphy, Leonard Williams, and Lawrence, right? And we added Lawrence, right? I think it will be a very good line.
He was first too once he came back because he was healthy in stretch.
Yeah, so I think this D line will be a very, very good D line. I think the weakest point of our defense is linebacker, right? With Knight, Jones, and Mafe. Yeah,
I definitely agree. I think our second level, but I think our second level isn't bad though. That's the thing. Early in the season, it was when Jerome Baker, I finally got his name. Jerome Baker, when he was there, kind of struggling, and then we input Tyrese Knight and Ernest Jones, and boom, they held it down for us. So that's a huge confidence boost for me too. That we're not going to be actually at linebacker position.
Yeah, good against the run for one because Bijan Robinson was torching us. Because it wasn't good there, but finally now we're good against the run.
Yeah, we got torched in the run. We New England ran all over us too, and we couldn't stop a single tight end to save our life. So, so I do think and again Nicky Memori, my favorite draft pick. I think he's probably the best defensive rookie.
Yeah.
Of course, Jalen Carter, Travis Hunter, they're like this top prospect, but Nick Nwari, like he has crazy upside. He's like he's like 6'4", 220. He's like he can legit play corner, but he's a safety. He's super athletic, super like his draft grade was like one of the best we've seen in our life.
And that ceiling, man, like the ceiling is Kyle Hamilton, right? And maybe even better than that, but like Kyle Hamilton, like if he can be anything like Kyle Hamilton, we're good. I'll take that.
He's Kyle Hamilton. He could not. He is, but he could be Kyle Hamilton. But he's bigger and athletic, and he can legit play man on man. Like he was a corner all throughout high school. Mm-hmm. He can legit has corner skills. I don't think Kyle Hamilton legit has corner skills. So I think he has a higher ceiling than Kyle Hamilton. Now, can he be Kyle? I don't know.
We'll find out.
Mike McDonald is going to determine that. But he definitely has the best upside of probably any defensive rookie I've seen in a minute. Mm-hmm. So I do. So again, how Mike McDonald fits him into that defense, which if anybody can do it, is Mike McDonald, right? So, and another thing,
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying like look, how old fan bases love doing schedule predictions, right? But honestly, even now, even after before this conversation, I don't know how to do mine. So, like when I look at the schedule, looking at this team, I don't know what we are exactly on the field right now. We could either be 7-10 this year or 11-6, and both scenarios make sense in my head.
Yeah, it's just that's the tough part about being a Seahawk, right? Because we also have these losses that don't make sense. We had one against Carolina a few years back, the one against the Giants last year. We always have that one loss that against a worst team that doesn't make sense. And so I was always factor that in. I put it on my TikTok. I had my schedule prediction. It was like so I had I think 10 of the games I was decisive with it. I was like, we're going to win this game, we're going to win this game, we're going to lose this game. And then the other 7, I'm like, I don't know what happened in these games because we can be that unpredictable. Yeah. And so again, tough part being everybody say I sound 40. Yeah, that's what happened when you've been a Seahawks fan for.
Yeah. Those heartbreak years, those constantly being in late games, final position games, constantly sucked, man.
Yeah, you've been for a decade and some change. Yeah, it ages you because the heart.
It ages you a decade.
There's the tough games that we be in time after time.
Like the week 1, the Niners, man. I don't know how to do that game. And then week 18, Niners again. Like those 2 games will be very key games. How we start, how we finish.
Yeah,
a division rival.
Hopefully, hopefully we get enough wins in division to where it puts us on a pedestal when it comes to the rankings. Because I do think once our division just go to in-conference play, I do think we can win a lot of in-conference games that's not in our division. And I don't outside of 4 or 5 teams in the AFC, I don't think many AFC teams are really better than us. I don't think so. Like I think Broncos, Chargers, of course, the top 4 teams, the Chiefs, Bills, Ravens. Like who's really better than us after that?
Denver.
Yeah, I already mentioned Denver. Denver, Chargers. Like Miami's not better than us. Not better than us. I don't think no AFC.
Not the Jets. Yeah, not the Jets. Not anyone in the South.
Anyone in the AFC. So like after you get out of a couple, I don't think the Steelers are better. I don't think Steelers are better than us. So like after you get out of those, those the best teams in AFC,
top tier.
Top tier. AFC, top tier, NFC, like top 4 teams in NFC. Who's better than us? I don't think many teams are better than us, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I feel like we definitely have one thing I like about this is we have a direction. Like I can see the direction. Like if we might not be,
they could.
Yeah, we might not be the best team. We might not meet our expectations, but I do think we have a direction to go in. And I think that's the best part. Then the thing is, like this time Darnold deal, it's a cheap deal.
Yeah, one year, only 1 year is guaranteed, which is pretty great. I'll take that deal.
Yeah, Like I think he like what got almost the same amount of guaranteed money as Justin Fields. Like, or maybe I think it's Justin Fields.
Close to
it. But so
yeah, close to it.
1 year deal, what, 35 million? Good. That's it. Bargain. Like we got like Dak Prescott getting paid 60. Like that's a bargain. You know, Trevor Lawrence getting paid 55. I think again, that's a bargain.
Yeah, massive. I'll take that deal or paying T-Law that much money for no reason.
So yeah, I do. We have the direction we go in. I think, and I do think if with this, 1 year rental of Sam Darnold, if he plays well, he got a couple more years, but this 1 year guaranteed. He has a couple more years, and then we can get either Jalen Miro can sit for a year, he can sit for more than 1 year and really learn, and hopefully he'll come down,
develop and learn how to play football, learn how to pass.
Yeah. Because boy, if Jalen Miro peaks, oh my!
Oh Lord, he's gonna be some nasty combos.
Good night,
high, bro.
Good night. We got the best quarterback in the league. That's an overstatement, but
Yeah, he might do some insane crap. Now I'm not saying he will. Don't do a clip of me saying I said that. I said he's gonna do that. But if he hits that ceiling, man,
he hits Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, y'all in trouble. Joe Burrow,
generational.
Generational. We talk about generational.
That potential
thing. I don't know if you remember, but throughout the offseason, I was begging for Joe Milton. I thought Joe Milton was like, for what he showed me in that one game. If you show me you can do well in one game, and I think our offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak, I think he could have cultivated him and did something well with that. So I was begging for Joe Milton entire offseason. Funny enough. And it's like we got a guy in Jalen Miro who has that same, athletic potential with the arm. But I'm of course I'm a Georgia fan. He's Bama, but I also didn't have too much upside on. I wasn't too high on Jalen Miro, but again, 4th round pick, not mad at it.
Yeah, I mean, I watched that preseason game with Joe Milton. Just because someone told me to watch it. And he was very good. The only thing that barred me is, again, you're playing against second string guys. Like I can't really engage that being first teamers, right? But
yeah,
I think Joe can be. I think Joe Milton is going to be a very decent to serve as a backup. I think that's going to be his potential. I don't think he's ever going to become that guaranteed starting quarterback, right? I don't think he was.
So we kind of man, it was, man, we kind of touched on earlier, but like, man, saying goodbye to Tyler, I'm just thinking saying goodbye to Tyler Lockett was hard, man. I was just thinking about it. Okay, so Cooper Kupp, what do you think Cooper Kupp role is, or what he does in his offense? Cooper Kupp.
Oh, I think Cooper Kupp is going to be the slot receiver, right? And I think when he's healthy, he's one of the best slot receivers in the game, no matter what, right? He still has very good hands, right? I think his separation has been on a slight decline as a player, but his hands are still extremely good. And I think as long as he plays that role to his maximum, I think him and Sam are going to have an instant connection. I think maybe him and Jason might take a bit, but I think that Kupp is a veteran guy, and like has gone through like a lot of quarterbacks and knows how to understand some QBs. I think him and Sam are gonna have an instant connection.
Yeah, I agree. I think so. I remember I was hearing talks about, when he went from Justin Jefferson to, Jack Smith and Jigba is what if he wanted Mario Anderson, he's not gonna be. I'm like, so okay, so I know one thing about Cooper Kupp and Jason, they both can get open.
Yep.
As long as you can get open in Clint Kubiak's system, you do not need this super special receiver. Like, of course, he's not on the level Jay Jettas is. Jay Jettas is the creme de la creme. But like, we have a situation where he can get the ball to open receivers, and as long as he can do that, we can move the ball. I kind of touched on it. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I think his deep playability is gonna unlock this offense too, because you have your run. You have these guys get open your slot. Jason going 1-on-1. But what happens when he pulls that ball back and the field is wide open and MVS just strides down the field? Hopefully he catches it, but still. And then we kind of seen that with the Saints offense. First it was Rashid Shaheed, he went down, and then MVS exploded for like 2 weeks. So I think I kind of touched on it, but that was a very interesting signing. Also the kind of these secondary signings that we got. John Charles, I think he's very interesting. Rotational piece. Of course, DeMarcus Lawrence was a very good signing on our part. So in totality, where do you see our defense totality? Like our rankings, rushing defense, passing defense. What do you think is going to, what do you see happening? Because I see playmakers.
I think the Seattle Seahawks defense at the end of this NFL season will rank as a top 10 defense across the board. I think our pass defense is going to be our strongest thing. I think we'll be like arguably top 6, 7 in that range. I think running defense. I think if we in the year at 10 in run defense, I'll take that. I will gladly take that 10 spot in run defense versus being one of the worst defenses in the league against the run.
So
I think at the end of the day,
I'm going in a different direction. I think we're going to be a top 6 defense, and I think I think the best pass rushers in the NFL. I think of course your secondary benefits from that, but I don't think it's going to be our secondary. I think it's going to be our pass rush. I think our pass rush is going to be one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. I think we're going to have like a top 4 pass rush, and that's of course that's going to, because what I'm seeing Byron Murphy do, and what DeMarcus Lawrence had the potential to do, what Leonard Williams did last year. I think when all that comes together, of course, Uchenna Nwosu, hopefully he gets back healthy. Boye Mafe, hopefully he gets his rhythm back. I think we're going to have a top 6 defense with one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. And I think because we have the athleticism and the playmakers in our secondary, boy, it's going to be beautiful to see.
Yeah. So yeah, man, I got to head out. This is a very fun discussion. Talking about the best team in the league. I'm joking, but yeah. Hopefully we have a great year this year. Make the playoffs. Hell, get a playoff win. That's what I care about at this point. As long as we own the Cardinals once again, 2-0 against them once again, I'll take that. At worst,
own Cardinals.
At a good year for me.
Bird, we
hate the Cardinals.
A lot of birds. We own another bird. We ain't gonna speak on it. Haven't been because Andy Reid was their head coach, but we don't talk too much about it.
Eagles. Oh God.
Eagles.
Yeah, it can't be us, bro. Since Obama, they can't be us. It can't be us since Obama. But yeah, see you guys, man. This is awesome, man.
All right, man. Say you signing out, man. All right. So, JB, is he here? Trying to wait for our host.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So, me and Nate finished our discussion. So what you gonna sign us out? How we gonna do this, JB?
Yeah. No, man, I appreciate you guys coming on. That was good. It was very good. Moss, anytime. You too, Sage.
All right,
but we'll be having you on later on, like in the season and here in a couple weeks or whatever during training camp.
All right. Moss Prod signing out. I appreciate you, JB.
All right.
I forgot my damn shovel.